For more on the president's words and where we go from here, we're joined now by law enforcement analyst Tom Verni. He's a retired New York City police detective. Tom, we heard what President Trump had to say, and he also went on Twitter, and I want to read his comments that he posted, and I want to get your reaction. This is what the president tweeted. So many signs that the Florida shooter was mentally disturbed, even expelled from school for bad and erratic behavior. Neighbors and classmates knew he was a big problem. Must always report such instances to authorities again and again. And I should add, a year ago, he revoked the Obama-era rule that would have blocked some people with mental issues from buying these types of guns. I just want to get your reaction from what we've heard from the president today.
Well, thank you for having me, and my condolences to the families affected by this horrible tragedy. And based on what you just said, the fact that he revoked that in order to, to block mentally ill people from obtaining firearms, the blood is partially on his hands, as far as I'm concerned. The blood is on the hands of the people in Washington, D.C., who were elected to go there to represent the rest of us and to make sure that there are laws in place to protect us, to prevent incidents like this. So you have loopholes in gun laws that still exist. You have, mental illness, which is largely still not really embraced and talked about in this country. And then you have people like this who are suffering from some sort of mental illness or clearly emotionally disturbed, still getting their hands on firearms, and then going out and doing a great deal of damage. I'm infuriated that this is still allowed to happen. In the last 20 years that we've had multiple mass shootings, many of them on school campuses, it is insane that this is still allowed to happen with no action being taken.
Let me ask you, so many people in this country are dealing with pain, grief, anger, and now so much frustration. After all, when all those little elementary school children at Sandy Hook Elementary were gunned down and nothing was done, can we really expect this country to do anything about gun control now?
It's funny you say that. I literally said the same words last night. I was on CNN last night, and that was my litmus test. That's exactly what I said about 12 hours ago, almost 24 hours ago. That was my litmus test as to where we are as a country. When you have 20 first-grade children and 6 of their teachers who are slaughtered in their classrooms, and not a single thing has been done in the 5 years since that incident has taken place. Now, mind you, I'm a gun owner. Obviously, as a retired police officer, I own a couple of guns. I am a proponent of the Second Amendment in that I do believe Americans have the right to defend themselves and to own a firearm. However, at this day and age, because of what has happened, we really have to sit down and have a serious conversation as to how far does that extend. Do we need people running around with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle? Or is it enough to have a handgun for personal protection and or to protect your home or family? Where do we draw the line? Where is the testing going to be done to make sure that someone's mentally fit to own and operate a firearm? And when someone exhibits behaviors that are erratic and or dangerous, where is the structure put into place that we can notify the authorities as soon as possible to get a handle on that?
But Tom, in this case, authorities were notified. The FBI at least once and maybe twice got a heads up on this guy, and someone somewhere along the line dropped the ball.
Exactly. So my follow-up point was going to be is that in just about every case that I can think of up until this case, there were signs or symptoms that either friends or family or coworkers had noticed, odd behavior, postings on social media and whatnot. I don't remember a recent incident to my recollection where the authorities were actually called or notified in this case and the ball was dropped. So yes, in this case there was a disconnect. I'm sure that there I would hope that they're going to do things to prevent that from happening again, because we see the tragic results of a misstep like that.
Heartbreaking on so many levels that we're talking about this again. Tom Verni, thank you so much.